Welcome to another interview of Meet the Experts with Valentina and Deborah Shepherd from Embrace Life, Live Life Festivals. Welcome, Deb.
How are you going, Valentina?
Pretty good.
It's good to see.
So it's very nice to have Deb here on my couch with me today. This is the first interview in my new healing room back at Spoon Bay. And welcome to all of you out there too. So Deb, what is your specialty in life at the moment?
My specialty in life, or what I feel my sole purpose is to create community. I'm often described as someone that does a great festival, and that's probably got a lot to do with the fact I've done now 17 of them. But
so these are boutique festivals.
They're boutique local festivals. But to understand who I am, you need to understand the intent behind them. It's not about me just creating an event to, I suppose, to make money. My intent here, my purpose, is for us to raise an awareness of what we all do, and to create a platform that we can come together and collaborate as a group. And effectively, I suppose people call that marketing as well, building awareness. So doing that in a way that is authentic and allows us to do it in a way that feels comfortable for us. So a component of that is our festivals. I always call it the party. It's when the group comes together and takes out what they do out to their local community, and we celebrate what we do.
Yeah, I really like the get-togethers before the festivals to set the energy.
That is critical for me. The pre-event evening, which we normally do 5 to 6 weeks before a festival, is what I call is the starting of the energetic marketing. It's us actually setting the intent, us as a group coming together, energetically connecting, grounding our energy to the venue, and starts to build that intention about what the day will become.
Yeah, I really liked how you explained that when people come into an Embrace Life festival, it would be lovely if they had an energetic welcome and nurturing, and not have pamphlets shoved straight under their nose, not have that competitive come to my store, buy my things. I really liked that we set up that energy for the Central Coast Festival recently.
We do that with all festivals, and that's how we do that through our gratitude passes, and we've now extended that to our marketing platform called Gratitude Online. But it's right, no one wants to turn up to an event. We don't, so why do we expect others to walk into a place where pamphlets have been shoved in your face, people feel like they're there just to sell things. It's about engagement. It's about us actually engaging with our community, and the right people that resonate with our message will find us. And for us to sometimes not just see the people that come through the door, but the people next to you, the collaborations that can occur with the people that are also being part of the festivals as important.
And remembering that one of the things that I like that you said on that first presentation, which was the first time I met you in person, was to remember that if we're working or volunteering at the festival, that most of us are healers and nurturers, and that is our gift for the world.
Definitely.
So to allow that to flow out to people as they come in, because we're all there, we're all that type of people, and they don't necessarily feel that all the time. So that's our strength, our gift, that's easy for us to give to the public as they come in.
And that's why I think we've nailed the marketing component, because I think a lot of people in our industry say, oh, well, I'm not great in marketing. But that's because we're trying to do it in the traditional way.
So for the novice, what's the comparison? What's the traditional way and what's the Embrace way?
For me, a traditional way of marketing is creating a service or a product, trying to create a sense of fear or a need, and then sell bejesus the need why you need that. Don't listen to what's coming forth, don't look at what, and if it does, manipulating your message so you can connect it to what you're trying to sell. The intent is to sell more stuff. Whereas for me, service orientated people that are coming from the heart, are uncomfortable with that. We want to serve. But the thing is that is such a natural talent for marketing. Because marketing in the purest sense is knowing your customer and then delivering to them what they need. We do that intuitively.
We take it for granted.
Exactly. We listen, we connect, we energetically connect with people, we're empathetic with people, and we are there for them. And then with what they're looking for or seeking, we then bring what we can bring to the table to support them, knowing that the universe wouldn't have provided that person to us unless if we were ready to have that connection.
Yeah.
So for me, our marketing way is how do we create that energy?
Yeah.
So it doesn't become desperate.
Yeah.
And it doesn't become manipulation. It just becomes a way of us opening up our hearts, being grateful for people that are actually arriving, and allowing the people that resonate with our message to connect with us.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it actually flows.
Yeah. It's very supportive.
Well,
that way of marketing.
it
It supports the space. It supports. It's like it provides a nice energetic base for everyone who's there, including the storeholders and.
I think it also allows us to walk our talk.
It allows us to walk our talk. That's very important to me, actually.
So therefore, when we do that, we're being authentic.
Yeah.
We're aligned to who we are. So therefore, it does flow. I think when we are trying to be something that we're not, then people can pick that up, and then there's an uncomfortableness.
A suspicion forms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can see something, but they can feel something different.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're working in that space, then we are allowing ourselves to be open, and we're showing who we are, and then that allows the people that are resonating with what we're about to connect with that, and it's an authentic connection.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problems.
It's funny you should mention walking the talk, because I only have 3 set questions for my interviews.
Okay.
And that's one of them.
Okay.
So in my business, it's called Balance Begins With Me. So clearly how I walk my talk and how I remain balanced is very important in teaching that to other people. And I'm interested, Deb, how do you walk your talk?
How I walk my talk is I believe that in every cell of my body, I am here living my life purpose. And I see that as a blessing.
Yeah.
And so what I am here each day is to allow other people to do the same. To create a community of people that allow everyone to do the same as well. So every virtue that I have around collaboration is also the virtue I have when I'm connecting with people. Talking about connecting with others, you know, for me, it's also about our connection to source.
Yes.
So allowing my decisions to not just be my thought process, but my connection to source and where the next step would be. And it's not taking anything out to the rest of my community that I wouldn't allow myself to be part of.
Yeah. So it's maintaining that personal integrity, truth, connection to source.
True.
And allowing other people to be
who they are as well.
Yeah.
And when I have an uncomfortableness around that, is to also call that.
Yeah.
To me, like, I'm very open, I'm very loving, I'm very loyal, but I also feel that sometimes you need to set boundaries, you need to set expectations, and when people are taking advantage of a situation, is to pull them up on it as well.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of tough love, some mother figure, whatever you want to call it, do you know what I mean? It's sort of creating a space of love and support, but not so much so that we don't have a bit of structure, a bit of guidance, a bit of, you know, because to me when you're building a tribe or a community, everyone has to pitch in.
Yeah.
You know, and so for me, when you're building a tribe, you can't have out of the 10 people, 2 people doing the work or 3 people doing the work and the other 7 just sitting back. You need all 10 to pitch in. That doesn't mean that everyone has to do the same amount, because some of us might have different skill sets, different, you know, sort of tools, different ways of doing things, but we all have to do our best. And that to me is really important as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problems.
Wonder what we'll talk about next. Oh, I know what I want to ask you.
Okay.
So, do you have people that support you in your business?
Physically?
Well, in any way, do you have, you know, a team apart from your connection to spirit? Because a lot of us refer to our connection to source as our team that's behind us.
Well, I definitely would want to acknowledge that, because I think I'm very clear that to have achieved what we've achieved in the last 2.5 years, I would not have done that on my own. So I would love to acknowledge first off my spiritual support, because it's definitely there.
Yeah.
I also have a beautiful group of people that step up into different roles. So I've got my local ambassadors.
Yes.
So I've got a team of 9 people.
So here on the coast, we've got Alison.
We've got Alison for Central,
Yeah.
for Central Coast. And that's an acknowledgement that if I want to create a local model, then I can't be local everywhere.
Yeah.
So how do I connect with those local people? So for Alison and the Central Coast, it's through Alison that we're connecting with other local like-minded people. I wouldn't be able to do that without her input. And we have those roles all over Sydney, and we go from Illawarra to Newcastle. I've got a lovely lady called Mignon.
Such a great name, Mignon.
Isn't it? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
She looks after all our sound, our music, and she has a lot of influence from the actual program perspective. So she helps me make sure that we get that right balance of movement, dance, musicians, performances. So she shapes that as well. I've got people in the background that help me, a lady called Tanya, who actually once a month comes across and makes sure we've got the name tags and the paper and all that sort of stuff done.
Stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got a lady called Rachel who helps me out with the volunteers on the day and the coordination. But she also gave us the opportunity to use a lot of her photography for our recent gratitude experience. All those photos were hers.
Oh, they were so beautiful.
Beautiful. And
a lot
she's
of
got
depth in them.
exactly
Yeah.
beautiful energy with that. And so, you know, acknowledgement of at least 8 to sometimes 10 sets of people turn up every festival as volunteers to open up those doors. So too many to name, but we have beautiful volunteers that actually connect with us as well. So there's, you know, there's many people that sit behind and support. Do I actually have beyond that? My family, you know, and particularly my husband. I think without my husband, I wouldn't be able to.
James.
Yeah,
Without James.
we do love you, James. Without James, I don't know if I would be as bold as what I do. He's the one that stood behind me when we had to make the decision to leave my home to follow my dream, and told me he would live in a tent as long as I was happy doing what my heart needed me to do. That's full-on support. Let alone the fact that every festival he's the one that's pulling up banners and doing all sorts of things. But like he's my rock. So yeah, there's a lot of people that support.
Marriage. That's really nice to hear.
Yeah, it is a good marriage.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh, cool. And something that we touched. Well,
Sea Wing, I forgot. Sea Wing, my beautiful Sea Wing.
And Sea Wing.
Sea Wing also, one of my ambassadors, but also between her and my editorial team for Gratitude Online. So Sea Wing, Erica and Janine, who also helped me with the Gratitude Online team. I've got to make sure I mention them as well.
Oh, okay.
I always forget. I've got too many people to help me.
See, you've got a good team.
I do have a great team.
Upstairs and downstairs. And something really interesting that I'd love to share with people, if you're open to it, that Deb and I touched on when we were just having a cup of tea and sitting in the sunshine before the camera went on, was about Deb's Atlantean connection. And this is a very strong influence throughout the Embrace Life festivals, because she's actually bringing the vibration of the Atlantean civilization and recreating a lot of the values and the ways of operating, and a lot of the sense of community, and rooms where people, and spaces where people can experience vibrations and experience energy. And I think she's succeeding.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So what I was sharing, I suppose, is my belief that a large chunk of why Embrace exists is to bring that energy back.
Yeah.
My belief is that the Atlantean culture had some wonderful healing techniques, understanding of how to work with the crystals, alignment with nature, some wonderful ways of us, you know, telepathically creating a world. But unfortunately, as we know, probably took it to the extreme, and because of that, the world, you know, disappeared for a period of time. I feel, and this is my belief system, but I feel this opportunity that we're currently experiencing now is us bringing back all that knowledge or that skill set, but hopefully we learnt from that particular experience that we can do it now for the enlightenment of not only ourselves but of this planet. And one thing that really strikes me with the Atlantean energy, apart from all those beautiful skills and knowledge and wisdom, was that we did it as a community. We didn't do things on our own. We did it as groups. There was group healings. There was group spot. It was we built alongside each other the strength that came with a group. And that to me is why, even down to the point of the embrace colours is the turquoise. The turquoise is the Atlantean energy. It's also the turquoise and the royal blue in the orosoma is the piece with the bottle, but it's also the dolphin bottle, and we know the dolphin energy is connected to the Atlantean energy. So for me, what I'm trying to, in my way, is to create the network for us, yes, to raise the awareness of what we do, but for us to also participate in bringing that Atlantean group energy together in us collaborating with each other.
So if there's any Atlanteans out there, make yourself known. Come on in and contact Deb and get some nice Atlantean community feeling, because it is really nice being around the Embrace Life festivals. It's just beautiful.
Thank you.
Feeling like, I went to the one on the Central Coast, I volunteered, and it was like we were in our own bubble or our own tent over the whole festival. It had such a lovely, relaxed, nurturing feeling. Vibrant and noisy at times in different spaces, and that's the thing that you bring from the Atlantean cultural experience too, is that Deb creates spaces where you honour the experience. So there is the main room where it's pretty noisy and there's stalls and there's drums on stage and people presenting things and music happening, and then there's a nice lounge area where, I might be getting the names wrong.
No, it's fine.
Where people can do yoga and experience shamanic healing and crystal bowl healing and different things like that, depending who's come, to the festival to work. And then there's a separate area for workshops so that you can have your privacy and go through your process. And another separate sacred space for the healers and the tarot readers. And people are not allowed to just wander through and have a sticky beak. This is a very Atlantean concept where it is community, you're all together, but sacred spaces are honoured and people are taught and reminded that, you're having an experience here and these people are working to raise your vibration, and they, as therapists, deserve to have a sacred space, and you, as the client, deserve to have a sacred space where you can make a real connection and go deep and experience something very beautiful. So
thank you for sharing that, because for me, I didn't understand why it was so strong for me, but now you've actually reminded me it's because of what I'm trying to create, because I've had a lot of pressure for people that participate, in particular, that want to come out into the trade hall. And I've had to let go of people sometimes to say, well, I respect how people want to promote their business, but I also feel that that's not how I want to set up our festivals. So having that space, to me, allows for that sacredness of that connection. People, that last piece of the layer doesn't just happen when it's in your healing space. It could happen in a trade space. And I think that vulnerability needs to be held. And so not having it in that trade hall allows the practitioner and the client to feel like they have that ability to honour what is occurring.
And I can also tell you, when I volunteered at the Central Coast Festival recently, I was at the desk that you came to first if you were coming for a healing or a tarot reading. So there's a volunteer like me there, if you're thinking of participating, who organises everything for you. First of all, at the entrance, people who have booked in are paying and been given their tickets. Then they come down to me, and if I've got time, I walk them to their therapist, or I tell them where the therapist is. So if you are the therapist, all you're doing is holding your vibration, your energy, and all the other processes to do with money and people being welcomed into the general space to start with are taken care of. And by the time your client comes to you, they've already felt nurtured and loved with appropriate boundaries and organisation set in place, and then they're just delivered to you as a therapist, and you do your job, and your job is to do it to the best of your ability in a timely manner, and then escort the client back out to the front, to my desk, and then they'll go out back into the main area. Or more often than not, they'll give me their next ticket and go and have a tarot reading.
Have another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really, a lot of the therapists there, when I was running that desk, just said how lovely it was that they could just let go and do what they're there to do. Yeah. So it's very well run. That's what people report, not just when I was there on the day. Other people that I've met through my community as a healer and through Facebook have raved about how well run your festivals are.
That's nice.
And how they love participating in them. So that's a really good thing to know, because it's really nice to be supported by a good organisation when you're a healer.
But I have to say, it's not just about the festival. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, I loved how Alice said at the pre-event.
Yeah.
She sort of said to me, it's like a personal development exercise, and I welcome people to approach it that way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful that when you're in the moment as a practitioner to be there.
Yeah.
But to get the client there, or the clients there, we still need to get the energy behind the festival.
Oh, yes.
So the thing that a lot of people sometimes struggle with is getting clear about what they do, getting their profiles together, getting behind the marketing component.
Yeah.
How do I actually promote this in a way that feels comfortable but gets people to commit?
Yeah.
And how do we actually, get ourselves ready for the day? So all those things are not just to get good numbers at the festival. For me, it's also to help you to learn those skills in a supportive environment, so you can then apply that into your business going forward as well.
Yeah.
Because my history is 23 years in corporate space, 2.5 years as an energy healer. Those 2.5 years were financially very well. They were good as energy healers. But from my perspective, I was here for more than that.
Yeah.
And what I realised is, as one healer, yes, I could touch many lives, but through the Embrace community, I can change an industry. And that's what the intention is. And so the intention of Embrace is about us collectively, hand in hand, changing the way that we approach our business. So, let's look at the marketing and do it in a way that feels comfortable, but we still need to market. I find it quite interesting. Yes, universe supports, but I still have to get up every day in this physical form to take the next step. And how do we do that to allow the universe to allow those next steps to occur? Well, that needs movement as well. So it's how do we do that?
Yeah, that's very well explained. So there's a lot more to it than just the festival.
Definitely.
That's the party.
That's the party. And we love parties.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to come back next year for another Central Coast party, because no one wants to leave. But I do say to people, if you want to get the best benefit out of your investment, it's not just about that day. It's what leads up to it, and it's also the support that we give you after. It's the members lounge, it's the members directory, it's the marketing platform to put your articles and blogs out there in a way that then we can use the energy of our newsletters and our Facebook posts to promote you, so you don't have to do it on your own. So the whole investment package should be you building your business alongside us, and throughout the year, at least once a year, we come together, we bring the energy, we celebrate what we do at the festival.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
It is very exciting to be involved with it, I must admit. I like it. I like that sense of support. Deb emanates an energy for me, I've found personally, of it's all here. You take it at your own pace, and you come on board and you do this and you do the extra things, and then you do a bit more and you learn a bit more as you're ready. I really like that feeling of, come on, we can all do this. It's easy.
And you
do it as you're ready.
And it is easy. If we do it
with
together.
Everyone contributing. If you just do one small bit, or if you just write one article and it gets posted up. But the vibration of everyone's contributing articles and videos and this, that and the other is making the whole thing become much more cohesive and vibrant and filling out every facet of
the festivals, the members lounge, the gratitude online, which is gratitudeonline.com.au. We've only launched that in May, so that's only been around for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And nearly every single person that put an article on so far is getting over 100 views.
That's amazing.
One particular article got 280, got picked up and translated into Portuguese.
Wow.
Yeah. And the gratitude experience that we launched this week, the first one, so for day one, over 800 views.
Wow.
What are we actually coming here for?
Yeah.
I have no idea.